Hello, God, it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera recording a video and doing a Q&A. It has been a minute, but you guys have sent in some pretty cool questions. I haven't kind of thought of them or anything. I've literally just got them here on a little PowerPoint presentation, so it's easy to click through because there were that many questions. I haven't taken any out, I've just left them as it is. So I'm actually pretty excited to go through them all and yeah, see what you guys have been asking, to be honest. So I'm not going to babble on, I'm just going to get started, otherwise I'll be here all day. So the first one, dreaming to know the history of your tattoo and the significance for you. Okay, if you're referring to my thigh tattoo, so it's okay, oh god, there's a fair bit to it. Okay, so I got this tattoo after I just graduated uni. It was something that meant a lot to me, and it was just a way of kind of marking my journey there, because uni was a very big journey for me, a lot of self-growth in there, and yeah, so the star sign horoscope symbols that you see on there, they're actually my family's. And then Ohana, it means family in Hawaiian. And if any of you know Lilo and Stitch, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. So literally, that was that. And I remember when I was getting this tattoo done, I wanted it obviously in kind of like a cross symbol. No reason for it whatsoever, I just really wanted it like that. Oh, if those sirens keep going off, I'm not going to be happy. Okay, that's one. Hopefully it's just the one and that's it. But then my mum was like, oh no, well, it's two. No, I don't like it like that. Have some flowers or something. And then I was like, okay, well, if I was to get flowers, what flowers? And then she mentioned forget-me-nots, which I thought worked perfectly with everything. So that's the story behind my my tattoo. Right, next one. Oh, have I skipped? No, okay, so. Okay, this is an interesting one. Would you consider doing film work in a short film, either a feature, music video, etc.? You have good screen presence. Oh, well, thank you. Okay, really, let me just first off by saying thank you. That's really sweet of you to say. I mean, I don't know, maybe if I got approached to something and somebody really, they've kind of seen my videos or seen the way I am and how excited I get about everything, and they kind of wanted to work with me, I wouldn't say no. I'd be like, okay, let's see what we can kind of do, really. So the answer to that long-winded answer, cut short, is yes. Do you like to wear tan shiny tights? Yes, I do, especially when it's like summertime or coming up to spring. Like even today, I've got the new glaze tights on in Sky. Oh my god, I'm loving them, honestly. I'm trying to do more color combos than just white, but yeah, but I'm getting there. Blue has always been quite hard for me, but I'm getting there. But yeah, with tan shiny tights, yes, 100%. I love them. I think they're great. Do people stop and stare at your gorgeous nylon legs? Thank you. And do you mind? I don't think I've had anyone stop. I've had people stare when they've walked past, and I suppose it is what it is, really. I think I'm not creeped out about it because I wear hosiery a lot. I wear a lot of different colour tights, pattern tights. They are very wild and out there. I do have a lot of bold statement outfits. So I'm not too, me personally, I'm not too fussed if people do that. I don't mind that, just because I'm very much used to it. I think that's the thing. So yeah. Do you mind in public if someone tells you your legs look beautiful? Not really. If anything, I'd be like, oh my god, that's really, really nice of you just to kind of stop me and say that. I think if this was to happen to any other woman who's not a massive hosiery enthusiast or anything, or if it was me back in the day, like in the early stages of my journey, I think I probably would have been, well, but I think just because of where I am, how open-minded I am about things, and I love a good conversation starter, I think I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I think it'll be pretty cool. It could leading to such a great conversation and maybe friendship, who knows. Oh, I've skipped one. Next tattoo. Oh God, there's so many that I want. It's unreal, and like dotted around as well. Like there's another one I love to get on my thigh, but I'm not too sure about it yet because it'll be a lot of work. But no, yeah, I would like to say there's one in the works, but I haven't like designed one or anything yet. I wouldn't know what my actual next one is. Like I've got probably 5 to 10 in my head that I'd love to get done, but I haven't picked one out of all of those. So the answer to that is I have no clue. Okay, so hi Soni, I know that hosiery is your number one love, but would you ever design your own lingerie? I would, 100% I would. Honest to God, I would love to have like my own lingerie brand. And I think this is the thing as well, it's like, because there's so many out there, a part of me is like, oh, you know, does the world need another lingerie brand? But then I'd like to sort of say yes to that as well, on the flip side, to be, actually, there's so many different designs, different types of lingerie you could work with, that you could play with and make it really fun and interesting, sexy, beautiful, everything. And then I personally would obviously cater it to men wearing as well. It's not just all women focused, it's men wearing as well. Or however you kind of identify. I'd like to make it gender inclusive, put it that way. I'd like to make my lingerie brand, my potential maybe lingerie brand, gender exclusive. So yeah, it would be so much fun. But yeah, I don't know, maybe. I've always had that passion, but I've never done anything to contribute to it. So yeah, we'll see. How has your hosiery business influenced your career? Fun side hustle or more full time? So it used to be a side hustle thing for me, but actually since February last year, so literally actually it's been a year now, I've been full time. I've been full time with it, seeing how it goes, and I think that's why I've attended so much more networking, so many more different events, just to kind of get myself out there, promote the brand, promote me, and just kind of spread the word and stuff. So it's tough. It's very, very tough. I'm not gonna lie. One thing people don't tell you is how hard it can be, especially when you're doing it on your own. You know, don't get me wrong, I have the support of my loved ones and my family and friends and everybody, but it can be very tough. It can sometimes be lonely, but I always try and overcome that very, very quickly, just by going to networking meetings, by getting in touch with some business friends and having those kind of chats, and obviously it eases everything. But it's also, my thing came from, I got laid off from my salary job, and that's where I kind of took that leap of, actually, let me do my business full time rather than finding like another job, and you know, and it's always been a side hustle thing. I was like, no, actually, let me put all of my time, energy and focus into making this work and seeing, you know, and letting it grow. And if I'm honest, it grew immensely last year. And there were so many personal wins as well as brand wins, and it's just, honestly, it was just incredible. So yeah, so I'm hoping it'll stay that way, but life happens, so we don't know. But yeah, I'd like to hope it stays that way, put it that way. But if I need to get a job, I can also get a job. Love your content and brand. Thank you. What's your least favorite or style of hosiery? What's my least favorite hosiery? I mean, I don't style. Do you know what? That's a very good question. That's really got me thinking. I think it's more of a size thing. I think the only thing that kind of comes to mind when I think about that is, you know, when you get like one size fits all. A lot of people already know I'm very passionate about this, right? But for those who don't know, I hate it when it says one size fits all. It's not a one size fits all. It never is. Please don't buy into that. Honest to God, it's just, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Things should be sized and sized correctly. One size to me means small to medium, maybe a small to large, like for me, I never see it go past a large in sizing, to be honest. It's just one of those, it ends up losing everything about it. Like if it's small to medium and just it's a pattern pair, they look great. Could be polka dots, they look great. If you're gonna put it on a large, extra large person, those polka dots are massively stretched. They don't look as enticing or as gorgeous as they would on a small to medium, because everything is just stretched out more than it needs to. Whereas if you're buying a pair of polka dots but you got them in a size small or a size medium or a size large, they're catered for that sizing kind of thing. So even on a large, they're not going to be these massive oversized things. They're actually going to be the dots that you see, and they're consistent. So yes, that's massive pet peeve. Don't like that. Absolutely hate it, and I'm totally against it. I'm not a fan of one size. But yeah, in terms of like style of hosiery, like I love tights. I'm probably in tights more than I am hold ups and stockings. Just because I get to wear, like, for instance, like shorts, skirts, shorter dresses. Whereas like with hold ups and stockings, like I'll probably have to pair them with longer dresses. Like, so if I'm sitting down or if I'm like on the move out and about and everything, like I don't want to expose too much unless I'm exposing with intention. So it's like I'm wearing a really high slip, but I've paired like hold ups with it, so you get to see that band, like the lace bands or something with that. So that's very different. That's like intentional kind of styling. But yeah, I wouldn't say I don't have a least favorite, to be honest. I think I like them all individually, depending on like what my outfit is and stuff. But pet peeve, one size. When do you try encasement for us? Okay. So we're gonna be real, we're gonna be honest, we're gonna be transparent, because I'm not gonna give you anything but that, always. Okay, so I want to try encasement. I've tried Zentai suits, cat suits and everything. A few of you have seen that, a few of you have seen that on my Sharing Your Journeys and everything with Soska. With proper encasement, like how, for instance, Nylon Cherry does it, how Soska does it, and how a lot of other people tend to do it, I'm wanting to give it a go. One is I don't have the time to sit and really research. Like, okay, so one is time. I don't have time to sit there, cut things up, and it's like that whole practice with it. Make the right cuts, sit them where you need to sit them, and play around with it, right? Two, I need to find some good hosiery. Now, some decent one. It's not going to be cheap. I'm not going to say I'm going to try it with Wolfords to begin with and practice on Wolfords. There will be when I've done it properly, then yes. But it's buying hosiery to do this as well, right? So that's another thing. Three is the pressure. The pressure puts me off from wanting to do it as well. So as much as I am wanting to do it, and I will do it at some point, but I think the more people kind of sort of say to me, when are you going to do it, when are you going to do it, when are you going to try it, I really want to see you, it puts a lot of pressure on me, and then I really shy away from that. Then it's like, do you know what, I don't want to do it because I'm no longer comfortable, and for me it's no longer fun. For me it's like, right, there's a pressure, there's like, I have to now like do this for people, and when it becomes that, I'm in a very different mindset. With other business stuff, that mindset is very, very different and it works. But in terms of when it's something, it's very new to me. I've never tried encasement like that before. I'm quite nervous about it, but excited about it because it's a very different thing. And then I think like putting all that together and then adding like social pressure on top to be like, oh my God, can you try it? Can you try it? It doesn't push me to do it anymore. If anything, and I'm like, I need to back off. So that's where I'm at with that. So it will be on the cards. I do want to do this. I do want to try it and see what it's like. Now, of course, I will document it. I'll share my whole journey with it and everything. But it's just, I think I need people to lessen the pressure. I think that's what it is, to kind of get me there. But then, like I said, there's factors like time and finding pairs to practice with, to do to make the right cuts with, and everything like that. So I will be obviously like talking to Soska. Nylon Cherry obviously is going to be disappearing now, so she was obviously going to be my main person. But I know there obviously are a lot more other people out there who can obviously help me in this, and I will be getting in touch with them to get some guidance on how to do it as well. God, that was a very, very long answer. Okay, so what is your nationality? I don't know many Indian women who wear pantyhose nylons. Okay, so I'm Indian, British Indian. Yeah, not many Indian women do. And it is, I mean, I can only kind of speak for myself. I can't really speak for all Indian women here. Oh, that sun is looking proper nice. Now it's just blinding the side of me. But with kind of Indian culture, we've kind of grown up to be sexy as bare legs. That was always the thing growing up. For me, it was very different. For me, it was like my parents were like, if you ever want to wear dresses and stuff, you got to wear tights with it. You can't be bare legged. So my journey was very, very different with that. But then I know, like from friends, like, you know, back in like secondary school, in university, college, whatever. Yeah, tights wasn't really a thing. Like if they were wearing shorts or skirts, one, it would be in summertime. Two, and it was only ever summertime. And two, it would always be bare legs. They would never really wear tights. Tights was not really a thing. Oh my god, wow. Talk about like golden hour. So yeah, so it is like I said, I can't really speak for everybody here, but it's one of those things I've noticed. Even when I speak to a lot of Indian women now, like, do you ever wear hosiery? They're like, no, not really. I'm always either in trousers, or longer dresses, and whatnot. So yeah, I think everyone has their own kind of journey with that, really. But yeah, if you know other Indian women, I would ask that question and just be like, oh, like, do you wear, yes or no, and if no, then how come, and maybe ask. It'll be worth doing so, actually, to be fair. Okay, so does wearing tights sexually arouse you, and why so? So no, they don't, actually. For me, it's always been about fashion. It's been a way of just covering my legs when I've fallen out with them. I'm not liking the look of them on a certain day. Seriously, this sun, yeah. Okay. I can't even do anything. There's nothing there to stop it. But you know, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything like that of the sort for me. For me, it's always just been fashion. It's a way of just styling an accessory, really. And it's just a way of me being able to kind of wear shorts and skirts and dresses in slightly colder months or cooler months. And don't get me wrong, I'll still wear like hosiery in summer, but I might like appreciate bare legs a little bit more to be like, oh, actually my legs can breathe a little bit. So yeah. Oh, okay. What big plans do you have for the brand over the next few years? Big plans. I'd like to travel. I really like to travel with the brand. I'd like to do pop-ups abroad, whether it be Europe, because Europe's kind of on our doorstep. I'd love to obviously go to like America and Mexico, but they're massive, massive places. And where in America, I have no idea. But I'd love to tour, and maybe do like meet-up sessions, just to kind of get people to mingle. You know, obviously we can all kind of connect. People can ask questions. It's just a safe space kind of thing. Yeah, I'd like to build more of our community. I think that's always been a big factor with me, like even prior to the brand. It was kind of like, even though I was making a name for myself in the hosiery community, it was still being a support for some people. And now I want to do that more than ever with the brand. It's very much, I want to build on that amazing hosiery community that we have going already, and then offering support, no judgment zone, for those who kind of need it as well. So yeah, and obviously more product launches. I like to do more public speaking, more talks, maybe hold another stall. That was amazing. I loved it when I did it for Christmas. So yeah, maybe hold another stall or something. Yeah, oh god, yeah, there's a lot I want to do with the brand, I think. I think it's just also having the time to do it and the resources, and then just making it happen. Oh, okay. What is the longest relationship you've had? About 7 years? Yeah, 7.5 years? We'll move swiftly on. Do you have a problem with people who follow you because they have a foot fetish? No, I'm cool with that. At the end of the day, look, I don't really judge people. People are into whatever they're into, and that's fine by me. I have no qualms at all. So like my button is like digging into me here, so I'd like just gotta adjust a little bit. But yeah, like I don't have a problem with anyone, to be fair. But I think the only thing I kind of just sort of say is don't shove it down my throat or don't bombard me, like, because I've had it like years ago where people are like, oh my god, when I obviously used to do a lot on my old account, they'd be like, oh my god, like you have such amazing feet, can you do this, blah, 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 blah. And then they would always like just spam me with stuff, and it's like, look, I get it, you have a foot fetish, like I'm cool with that, that's whatever you're into. But then it would be like, they would ram it down my throat. They would be like, oh, but you know, and this and this and this, and have you tried this and that? And I'm like, look, it's do you? But chill, just chill a little bit. Not everybody is as excited as you are about it, and I think it's people just understanding that the fact that like because they're into something heavily, and you're you know, and you can be really excited about it. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to feel the same way as you. Like I mean, I'm a very understanding person, so I'm more than happy to listen and everything and support you. But then it's also like, but also please don't shove it down my throat. It's very much, yeah, just calm down a bit. How do you decide what the next drop is? That's a very good question. So with the glazed tights that obviously did on Friday just gone, oh my god, it's been can I just say it's been incredible. Oh my god, with how many people have purchased already. Thank you, by the way. I absolutely adore you all. I'm gonna have so much fun packing it this weekend. But I think I kind of base it on, you know what, there's a lot of things I base it on. So for instance, the glazed tights, I thought spring summer's coming, right? And I've already got 15-20 deniers out, okay? I've got like, you know, then the next jump up from 20 denier is 50 denier, then 60-70 denier, then going up from there. And I'm like, I don't really have that middle ground. So for instance, these are like a 40 denier, but they don't look it, they look more like a 30 in my eyes. They look more like a 30. But it was like, okay, well, this would be perfect for spring. It's great colors, adds a pop to your outfit. The shine is absolutely brilliant, and it will work for those months. Naturally, don't get me wrong, I will still be wearing these in autumn, winter, but not everybody thinks like that as well. So it's not only just what I kind of like and want, it's very much I'm thinking about my market that I've already got at the moment, all my customers, my OG people who buy from me repeatedly, kind of newcomers as well, what they would like to see. So it's kind of doing a fair bit of market research as and where I can. Some things, like for instance, when I dropped the Eden and the Ajna and the Diamas, they were very whimsical ones. They were very, do you know what, I love this. These are any time of year type of tights. I mean, some people might not wear them in summer or like in a really hot kind of month or a week or something, but they're kind of what I class as an all year round tight. So that's like, well, you can drop that whenever you like, really. Sometimes I try and time it for seasons. Sometimes it's just, do you know what, I haven't done a drop for a while, let's just do a new drop. Because now I won't be doing any kind of new drops for a little while. Because I've done quite a lot in the past few months. So obviously the glaze was like the last of that batch, and I'll keep it quiet for a little while and then get going again. So yeah, I think there's a lot of factors that play into that, really. Okay, will we be able to see pictures and videos of you in striped tights? Funny you should say that, actually, because I do have a pair that I do need to do, it's either a blog or a promo post on. But yeah, I actually do have a pair of striped tights. I don't do them enough, but I'm very hit and miss with stripes, just because they can either make your legs look amazing, or they can make your legs look chunky without even trying. It's as soon as you get them on, like, it depends on the stripe, if I'm honest, and depends on if it's a horizontal, vertical, twisty around the leg kind of thing. Some work, some don't. So I'm hoping these work pretty well for me. Will we one day see Soni design crotchless tights? Oh, so do you know what? Right, crotchless, I think, can be a bit hit and miss. So obviously the whole point of crotchless is you don't really wear underwear with it, or if you do, you wear your tights first, then you put your underwear on top, right? So you don't really have to take your tights off and and whatnot. But it's really interesting because I asked a couple, I didn't put this out to everybody, I didn't put this out public or anything, I just asked a couple of people, and I was like, oh, what do you think to crotchless tights? Just generally, just doesn't matter what brand, doesn't matter if they're shiny, opaque, whatever it may be. And the feedback was not many people liked it. And I find that really interesting. So from a female perspective, obviously it's very different. Yes, obviously the natural overall thing, it's breathable, it's easy for bedroom stuff, if you're obviously going that direction with it. You know, obviously for men, I can imagine it be a little bit more freeing, depending obviously what you like, really. But yeah, honestly, a lot of male responses were like, I don't really like crotchless. Like, I prefer tights, whether they're, you know, seamless. A lot more people like seamless. Some people obviously prefer like a seam and a cotton gusset and everything, but it was very interesting. So I don't know really with a crotchless design if I would. I mean, maybe if I get a good response. So after dropping this Q&A, right? If you think crotchless is a vibe, let me know. If I get a lot of yeses, then maybe. If I don't get a lot of yeses, there you go. Oh no, I've gone too far. Oh my god. Please discuss chicken fingers, jammy dodgers, and baked beans with sausages. Thanks. Cheyenne, I have. So this is a running joke we have with my friend at the moment. Honest to God. It's just because we were being very nostalgic, talking about food, talking about healthy food, then went into food that we used to have when we were younger, and then we were talking about our favourite things that we would eat when we were younger. We were talking about chicken fingers versus fish fingers. I did not like fish fingers. When I used to eat fish, I did not like fish fingers. Jammy Dodgers, I love them biscuits. Dunking tea, oh, you're not a tea dunker, Jammy Dodger person, oh, well, how are you eating them? And the baked beans with sausages, yeah, that was quite funny. Okay, we've discussed it now, Cheyenne. Tell us your experience about layering and what you think about trying your first encasement. Okay, so my experience with layering. So I like layering. I do it quite often, more often than I have before. I've laid in the past before, but not as much as I have been doing recently, just because I found stuff that works for me. And there's obviously still styles I haven't tried with like hold ups underneath, then tights, and vice versa. Same with stockings and tights and vice versa. I haven't tried all that yet because I think that's going more into, it's not really practical. For me, that's more like fun, playful. It's, you know, touching upon a bit of a ooh la la kind of thing. But I quite like layering. Done right, it looks fantastic. And I think that's the thing, it's finding what works for you. For me, sometimes it's just a layer underneath a pair of jeans or a pair of trousers. Sometimes it can just be two pairs, like I've got a new pair underneath and then a pair on top, just to give my legs a smoother look, a smoother, finer finish. Sometimes it can be colours, just two different colours. I mean, it's very rare that I do that. But yeah, I think everybody layers for different reasons. Mine is very much more of a practical purpose of, okay, if it's a bit cold, then I'll definitely layer. Or if I want my legs to look a certain way, if I'm wearing a really nice dress or something, then I'll layer. But yeah, and then obviously encasement, I haven't got around to that yet. But catsuits and stuff, I love them. I think they're dead cool. And for me, it's more about how it looks. For me, it's not about how it feels. It's more about how it looks on. Like, I love the shine. I love the whole like kind of seamless finish. Of naturally, you gotta have seams on the arms and, you know, inside the legs and stuff. But like, I love that whole one piece look. It's really like fluid. It's really just, it's quite sensual. It's quite feminine, and it's a vibe, to be honest. That's probably the closest I'm gonna get to encasement right now. What boots you say you like to pair your pantyhose with? Ooh, I've not done boots for ages. God, I remember I used to wear boots at one point all the time with my hosiery. I like ankle boots. So for me, because of my height, I like ankle boots. I like shoe boots, ankle boots, because they work quite well, and they like elongate my legs. They don't kind of make me look shorter than what I am. And I quite like that. And same with like over the knee thigh high boots. I like those just because one, they kind of keep you warm, two, they look really cool. And three, like I like that little peekaboo. Like I remember I've done a couple of posts where I've worn like thigh highs and you've got that little part showing, and I love that kind of thing. It just adds another element. If you don't want to show your legs as well, like a thigh high boot is pretty cool. Yeah, I would definitely say they're like my favorites. Like under knee, like here, they don't sit right with me. They just make me look way shorter than I actually am. So I've always kind of stayed away from them. And yeah, I don't think I've really owned a pair of those actually. I think I tried them on in shops once, and I'm like, just they look amazing, but they just don't work. So yeah, and even like biker boots. Oh, I do love a pair of like combat boots, like Dr. Martens. Oh God, love Dr. Martens. They're always a vibe, especially like the sparkly glitter ones. Oh, just you got a bold pair of tights, bold boots. It's just a vibe, honest to God. So yeah, I hope that helps. Your favorite hobby? Ooh, okay, so at the moment, I'm getting into Lego. Yeah. I used to love it when I was younger, don't get me wrong. And then I actually got all these amazing Lego sets. It used to be reading, but I haven't read a book in a while. I'm literally looking at my book pile right there, like, I need to get round to you. But when I do have the time, I love reading a book. And I'd definitely say getting back into fitness is another favourite hobby of mine. It's one that's been very on and off. I need to be consistent with it now, but it was very on and off. So yeah, they're like my top 3, I think. Okay, tell us about yourself and your family. That's very, very vague. But okay, so obviously I have my parents around. I've got my sister. I don't really know how to answer that. It's just really vague. Like, okay, tell me about yourself. Hi, I'm Soni. I love pandas. I like Star Trek. Star Trek's a vibe. I like to keep things interesting. I like a bit of spontaneity. I like adventure. Love traveling. Love cooking. I love all types of music, all genres of music. I don't say I just have one favorite. I like a little bit of everything. Yeah, it's got. I mean, I love fashion, love hosiery, love heels. Yeah, God, that's really hard because it's so vague. Yeah, but to be fair, I kind of find it a bit hard talking about myself sometimes. So that's why when it's quite vague, it's like, oh my God. But if it's more like direct, I got you. I can answer. Okay, here's a good one. How do you think women can be more open towards hetero men wearing tights? So this is a really good question. I think the main thing is communication. I think, God, there's a lot here. Okay, so first thing is communication, is speaking to people about it, whether you're friends, whether they're loved ones, whether it's, you're in the dating scene. It's just being open and honest about it, and especially if it's a part of you, or you feel very strongly about wearing, I would definitely say you should be bringing that up. Because you don't want to hide that part of yourself, especially if it is very, very important. I would say also being more open to wearing as well. I think the more women kind of see that, I think the more women kind of like would question it, and I think that's good if they're questioning, because I was exactly the same. I went from, oh my God, what? To then questioning it, to now like, look where I am and how many people I've helped in between all that. And I think if you wear more openly, if you're comfortable doing so, I would say do that. I would definitely say do that and make that a conversation starter. I understand and I appreciate it can be very hard. Not everybody is that confident. Not everybody can do that. And I totally get that. But from my point of view, if I was to see a guy wear, I would literally go up to him and be like, oh my god, I love. But I'm coming from the whole thing of I'm into hosiery as it is, and my whole journey with that. And I'm sure obviously he would appreciate a conversation starter, and he probably feels at ease the fact that wow, someone's actually complimented, it's a woman complimenting, and it's becoming a conversation starter. Whether it's in your workplace, whether it's just with close friends or family, whoever you kind of trust, that's another good place to start as well, just to kind of get people talking. That would be really, really good. A good way of doing it. But I'd definitely say just be your authentic self, and I can't express that enough, because that's what I find what people want nowadays. Even when I'm like meeting people in networking and events and stuff, people love people who are raw and who are real, and don't feel like they're putting on a facade and stuff. It's just very much okay, well, I like what I like, kind of thing. And I appreciate and I understand it can be very hard, it can be very tough. Not everybody responds well to criticism, not everybody is like that, and I get that. But it's also just it's also, taking steps in the right direction. I think that's the thing. Like, it's like when I speak to a lot of men who still like who wear, but they still hide, and they're like, oh, but I'm not confident enough, but I've been like that for like 10-20 years. And I'm like, you're always going to be stuck in that if you don't help yourself move forward. And that's why I say, like, okay, if you're wearing inside, go into your garden, wear in your garden. Okay, next steps, maybe walk around your house, or just take a short walk down the street and walk back, see what happens, take it to the next step from there, and build it up. Honestly, build it up from there. That's probably like the best thing I can say. But I think the thing is having conversations. I think that's the thing, is get women to start talking about it as well. I always do when I speak to a lot of different women at my networking events. I always ask them, like, do you wear? If you do, yes. If you do, like, what type, XYZ, we'll have a fun conversation. If they don't wear, why not? It's just little things, and then I get a better understanding, and then they're like, oh, okay. Like, there's so many people that literally know me now, and they'll be like, oh my god, like, I've not worn, but when I did wear, I thought of you. And I'm like, that's incredible, thank you. So yeah, I definitely say having more conversations about it. Talk about your tattoo, maybe story, significance, link to Hawaiian culture. There's no link to the Hawaiian culture. I wish there was. There's not. It's just Lilo and Stitch. Honest to God, it's just Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, that tattoo is just yeah. Okay, it was a good time. Yeah. Are you Indian origin? Yeah. Do you ever see yourself being married again one day? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not too fussed if it never happens. I've never been big on marriage as it is anyway. And then obviously I got married, yes. Just for the sake of getting married. But yeah, I've never really been big on it. So for me, it's not a big deal if I do or don't, kind of thing. If I do, great. But if I don't, that's cool too. Like, I'm literally not fussed. I know, very, very vague. Are you single? How can I take you on a date? That's a very good question. I like to keep my private life private. Even when I'm single, even when I'm dating. Yeah. Because when people know stuff, it's very I don't know. I like to keep my private life private. I think it's just I've learnt my lesson from when I was married, and a lot of people saw him, and I would like have pictures here and there and stuff, and yeah, I don't know. From that, I've been more private about my like dating life, my single life, my not so single life, and yeah. Let's move on. Favorite place you've traveled to? Oh, there's been so many. Because I've actually traveled a fair bit this year already. So Paris is always a big, like, I would always go back to Paris. I can never get sick of Paris. France. But I always end up in Paris. I always say France, but I always end up in Paris. And Lyon's very nice as well, to be honest. But yeah, France is just amazing. I do love Italy. Milan, love Milan. Oh my god, if I could move anywhere in the world, it would be Milan. But then also, like, I had an amazing time in Amsterdam recently. Like, there's so much culture there. There's so much history there, and I had like such an awesome time. I want to. Okay, can I just say Europe as a collective there? But then it's like I've been to Egypt, and Egypt was just amazing. Greece, when I went to Rhodes, that was beautiful. Do you know what? I love it. I love every place I've been to, because you know what? It's a very different experience, and I've loved all the experiences that I've had. So I think probably the only one I haven't was Sri Lanka, because we went for a wedding. We were in the middle of bloody nowhere. We were 3-4 hours travel from the main city centre. It was horrendous to get to. That's probably like my only one where the experience was not great. But otherwise, I've travelled to so many amazing places. It's really hard to just pick a favourite. Yeah, because I always have amazing experiences at each kind of city. So yeah, that's hard. Damn. Yeah, okay. Food for thought there. Can you sleep in pantyhose again and make a video? Yeah, I mean, I can give it a go again. It's been a while since I've done that. Do I want to try doing it in hold-ups this time instead of tights? Because last time I did it in tights. Yeah, maybe in hold-ups. I haven't done hold-ups. Yeah, maybe hold-ups. When did you fall in love with hosiery? So I think it came from an early age. So it was when, maybe like 18, 19, I think. It was when I was like wearing more skirts and shorts and everything, and I had to cover my legs, so it was like, oh my god, just whatever. And I think the more I kind of played around with different styles, the more I kind of liked it, actually. For me, it was just, oh, like, this is quite fun, this is quite playful. And you know, if it was just shears, it was like, okay, it just adds a nice clean finish to an outfit. If it was like an animal print or something, it's like, wow, that's really bold, stands out. And I think the more I kind of played around, like the more I kind of fell in love with it. So yeah, I would definitely say from about 17, 18, maybe 19, I kind of started to really delve into hosiery, like a lot more, and I would like post about it a lot more. Oh, this is a good one. What's a belief or mindset shift that completely changed your life? I would definitely say learning about men wearing hosiery was a massive thing. And it has changed my life. It's to where I am now, what I'm doing now, the business that I have now, the amount of people that I've supported through all that. And it's like I said earlier on, and how I've kind of mentioned in previous videos, it's going from not understanding it, thinking it's really weird, to then having conversations about it, whether it's, you know, a kink or a fetish, or it's actually I wear just as an extra layer underneath, like jeans or something, to comfort, security, safety. It's been very, yeah, it's been a really interesting journey in that sense, and I've learned so much from that, going from very kind of closed-minded to open-minded, going from very I don't get it to totally understanding of a lot of things. I'm not even just saying about the brand, but just generally in life. Like, I'm a lot more understanding about so much. So yeah, I would definitely say that's probably the biggest thing. Yeah. What's the most unexpected or bizarre piece of advice that actually worked for you? Oh my god, that's a very good question. Oh my god, that's such a good question. Okay, whoever asked that, I'm gonna need to get back to you privately, because I really need to think about this question. I've never been asked that before. And I actually can't think of like bizarre advice. Okay, I'll have to, yeah, I'll have to think about that one. What's a small decision you made that ended up having a huge impact on your life? Wow. There's been a lot of those. I would say getting married. No, not getting married. Getting a divorce. I mean, but that's a very big decision. But that's had a huge impact on my life in terms of like moving forward and just knowing what I want. Coming out of it not naive, very very grown up, so much more mature. That you maybe ended up having a huge impact on your life. I mean, I would definitely say my business as well. Oh my god, that's a very good question. Whoever's asked these, right? They're good questions. And no, okay, another one would be just smiling at people. Smiling and waving at people, random people. I love doing it. I've always done it. Coming from a background, from Leicester where people do that just all the time. You make friends, you might not make friends. They might look at you a bit weird. They might wave back and be like, hey. But because that also allowed me to be able to trust people. It allowed me to make friends. It allowed me to build up my confidence. It allowed me to just, be me. Okay, I would say that. Yeah, that's a small decision. My small decision would have been waving at somebody or smiling or saying, hey, how you doing? Having a huge impact on my life, because without that was like a building block for me to just build me up and my personality and my character up throughout life, really. Wow, that is a question and a half. Okay, if your life had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be? A theme song? Oh, can I say Summer Jam? I love Summer Jam. But I also like The Weekend. Oh, The Weekend is a vibe. Oh my god, that's a good one. If your life had a theme song that played every time you walked, maybe Star Wars. Star Wars would be a vibe. Okay, let's go with Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars. What's a common piece of advice that you completely disagree with? Shave legs. I think you can, shave legs in the sense of wearing hosiery and having shaved legs. I understand why people do it. I totally get it. And coming from a background where I've worn hosiery with hairy legs, I've worn hosiery smooth legged. And I feel like everybody kind of sort of says, oh, but you need to shave your legs to wear hosiery. It's a nicer experience. It feels nice on the skin. It's great. But then also, I very much understand that not a lot of people can do that because it'll raise too many questions or they're not comfortable shaving their legs. And that's okay. You can still wear hosiery with hairy legs. It's okay. I remember the amount of flack I used to get, right, when I was like due a waxing session or something, and I would have like, a couple of like hairs on my thighs, and people were like, oh, why don't you shave? And I'm like, what's it to you? It's not like you already know this because I've just shown you a close-up picture. From far, in all the other pictures on my blog, you would never have seen it. You wouldn't have been saying at that. So I think that's one I would disagree with, in the sense of like, you need to have shaved legs to wear tights and hosiery. No, you don't. You can wear them with hairy legs. It's completely fine. It might feel a little bit different, but it's completely fine. Yeah, I said it. If you had to start over in a completely different career, these are really good questions. I had a lot of questions come through. So sorry if this Q&A is very, very long. If you had to start over in a completely different career tomorrow, what would you choose? I would probably become a counsellor, a therapist. Yeah, I would do that. Something with helping people and mental health. 100%, I would do that. As much as I would love to, be a part of NASA and study space, because I love space. I love everything about like the planets and stuff. I don't know, I would feel more fulfilled, or my life would be more fulfilling if I was helping others somehow. So yeah, they were my two, but being a therapist, the main one. What's a habit or routine that has completely changed your productivity or happiness? Okay, eating well. So eating better, having more water. I've been doing that a lot at the beginning of this year, and I do feel more of a difference. Also playing music when my creativity levels are low, because with music I'm vibing, I'm then in a different mind space, and I have a whole different kind of creative flow. Going for walks as well, I'm doing a lot more walking, which helps because you get all sorts of thoughts, and it's like with and without music as well. So I'm not always wearing headphones, it's sometimes just without, just listening to cars, listening to nature, listening to, well, eavesdropping on other people's conversations. But yeah, that's like really helped. I think it's more just health and well-being has been a really big thing this year. And traveling more and traveling has definitely increased productivity, because when I'm away it's like, right, I've got to get this done before I go, and then once I'm back it's right, now we're on to this. So yeah, definitely that. Okay, I think it's the last question. If aliens landed tomorrow, hold on, yeah, it's the last question. If aliens landed tomorrow and asked you to explain humanity in one sentence, what would you say? Don't even bother, go back home. That's what I would say. But actually, then again, I would have so many questions for aliens, because so I am one of those people, I believe in aliens, I do believe in life like that. Like there is life on Mars and all that kind of thing, and you know, we're in a whole, like, in all the multiple universes that there is me and 1,000 other me's living a different life. I believe in all that kind of thing. Yeah, I would have a lot of questions for the aliens. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, why are you here? What are you doing here? What's your purpose? What's it like where you're from? Yeah, I would want to have a whole conversation with them. I'm not gonna lie. There would be a lot I would like to ask them. But yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, just there's no point. Just go back home. But no, like on a serious level, no, like humanity isn't all that bad. It's complex. I would say it's complex. If you can understand it, cool, because not many people can. But if you can't, then that's cool too. But yeah, that's what I would probably actually say. That's what they say, go back home. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. Oh, this has been so much fun. Honest to God, there's been a range of really interesting questions, and I completely appreciate it. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much for everybody who has asked a question, however weird or intriguing or just really nice. It's been fun doing this Q&A. I'll be posting it obviously everywhere. But yeah, if you've got any other questions, literally drop them in the comment section, wherever you're kind of seeing this, because like I said, I'll be posting it everywhere. And obviously I'll try and answer it as and when I can. And the bits that I've kind of said, like, oh my God, let me know, do let me know. If you do make it that far into the video as well, without skipping. Yeah, do let me know as well. It'd be nice to hear from you. But thank you so much, everybody. Honestly, I've had like the time of my life doing this. It's been so much fun. But yeah, until next time, thank you so much. And yeah, by the way, if you haven't bought a pair of glazed tights, please do so, because they're just incredible. I love them. Just sitting here, it's been so nice being in them, and showcasing them to you all. But yeah, anyway, right, I'm gonna go now. I'm just gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna go now. Right, thank you so much, everybody.